everyone, welcome to Studious IELTS. My name is Surinder Chaudhary. In today's lecture, I'm going to discuss about one of the important parameters of IELTS writing and specifically essay writing, that is task 2 in your IELTS examination. Okay, I have seen students actually focus much upon vocabulary because they consider that vocabulary is really important for their writing. But their focus is actually misdirected. They're not trying to understand what vocabulary and the particular segment that we are going to talk about today stands for, and they are cramming some words, cramming some fancy vocabulary for their essay, and they end up getting either 6 or below that in their IELTS writing. So let me guide you through what vocabulary stands for, how can we understand this parameter, and what should be the right track to focus upon. Okay, the parameter I'm going to talk about today is lexical resource, which is ultimately vocabulary range and the precision. And I will suggest you that how to understand this first, then I will also tell you things in detail that what are those things, what are those key factors where you should be basically focused upon. Okay, so first of all, let me show you what those parameters are, because when your essay is being evaluated, they give equal weightage to all these four parameters: task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. We have discussed all those in different videos, and you can watch our those videos to understand remaining three parameters, because in this video, I am going to focus more upon lexical resource. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to explain all those requirements of IDP, what they ask you to take care of in your essay in the context of lexical resource. In vocabulary part, what they expect of you. So first of all, they say that there should be a full flexibility and precise use which is actually implemented by you, because whatever word you are using in your writing, first of all you should have a complete control on that. You should have that flexibility that you can use that word in different grammatical contexts with a control. Only then they will consider that yes, this is your vocabulary range. If you are just cramming a word, you are trying to use that in your sentences, but that uses is not appropriate, you will actually harm your own scores. So first of all, they expect you to have a complete flexibility of using that word in your writing. You should know that whether you are able to use that word as a noun, as a pronoun, as a verb, and you can use that in different contexts of your conversation, right? Okay. Secondly, they expect you that your writing should have a wide range of vocabulary which is used accurately and appropriately with very natural and sophisticated control of lexical features. The thing which is quite similar to the previous one, that you should know what you are doing. There shouldn't be like, yes, you know a specific word, you have crammed that, and now this word seems like fitting in this sentence and you fit there. No. You should understand the meaning of that word. You should have the actual understanding of different purposes of that word, different grammatical roles of that word, whether it is a noun or a pronoun or an adjective. If you have that, only then they will give you 9 in lexical resource. Okay, and they also excuse even minor errors in your spellings, in your word formation, but these errors should be extremely rare. And most importantly, these errors shouldn't have any impact on your conversation, on the meaning of your essay, right? What you are what you are intending to express shouldn't be harmed with those errors. Only then those errors will be excused. Okay, so now moving to the main part of our today's video, that is understanding what lexical resource is, what actually it stands for, and how can we understand it with the help of different examples. Okay, so first of all, they expect you to have a range of vocabulary. Means they want you to be in hold of the words which you can use in different situations, and they also want you to have many words that you can elaborate similar situation in different ways. For example, I have an example in front of you. It says technological advancements have significantly enhanced interpersonal communication, enabling global connectivity. They want you to be more expressive, right? If you have the control over the words which you can use in different grammatical roles, specifically the adjectives, right? No doubt even repetition is needed to be curbed, that we will discuss later on as well. But first of all, your range of vocabulary means you are extending your nouns with the help of certain adjectives to enhance the focus upon that point, that idea. If you are doing that, your words focus, your words expression will be extended. For example, advancements are actually carrying an adjective, technological. Further going, if you are having this verb, it might carry an adverb with it, like significantly. So no doubt there is an action. That action is enhancement, which we have described with the verb enhanced. But if you have an adverb associated with it, definitely that action is more focused. If that is done, you are showing that yes, you have that range with which you can make your ideas more expressive, more detailed, right? Going ahead, even communication has been given a certain adjective in it to show your range, show your range of vocabulary in your writing. So be very careful that your adjective should be appropriate, but I would suggest you that more you express, better your scores will be, right? Okay. Second key factor they consider in lexical resource is it should be very precise, it should be very accurate. Here comes the main problem. What students do, they cram so many fancy words, right? That cramming is the biggest problem. They do not understand the right context of the word. They just cram a word and they try to use that in any essay, and they believe that giving some fancy vocabulary will enhance their scores. No, it will not. What will enhance your score? The precision. The precision means whatever word you are using, is it really appropriate in the context in which you are communicating something? If that happens, yes, they will give you score. But if you have used a very fancy word in a very simple looking sentence, it will not be considered to be a great thing to be done. Remember this. And accuracy, of course, the use of that word should be very accurate. Are you really using the right word? Are you really having that word which means something that you want to convey in that sentence? If you can do that, only then you will be able to get good scores. We have an example. So highlighted words are those words which actually fit in this sentence, right? Individuals, for example, you are going to talk about some human beings. So if you are going to use any such words like habitants and all, because habitant is obviously again associated with people, but habitants are those who are living in a specific area. Now, it is a synonym of individuals, but in this context, it is not. It is not precise. What is precise? Individuals. Because it is a neutral word for people. Habitant is also a synonym, but that is a synonym in a certain context. People who are living in a certain area. Even if you are using natives, that will be incorrect. No doubt that is also a synonym. But this is how you become precise and accurate in your uses, right? Even fondness, liking for something, obviously that should fit according to your context. Diverse destinations, obviously we can use that word appropriately, use that adjective appropriately with the noun destinations. So in that way, your words should actually have the actual contextual meaning in that sentence. No doubt synonyms are there, but every synonym cannot fit in every situation. Remember that. Collocations. What collocations means, let me tell you that. Collocations are those combinations of words which usually occur together, right? So if you have hold on some collocations, if you can remember some combinations of the words which are mostly occurring together, you can enhance your scores in your IELTS writing. For example, in this sentence, he committed a substantial error. Now, this is a pair that may occur very frequently. Sometimes you cannot replace this adjective with some other adjective, right? So, in that way, collocations can also give you an upper hand in getting good scores. Uh, yes, very important, avoiding repetition, because vocabulary part will actually aim at this. If you are saying people again and again, you will not be able to impress your examiner. You must have some synonyms for some nouns. You must have different ways to say something, right? Different sentence forms you can use, right? You can use passive, you can use active. You can also use different forms of the word itself, right? Sometimes you can use a word with its base form. Sometimes you can use a word by using ing with it. Definitely you are being able to curb the repetition, right? Moreover, it is again important to use pronouns, because pronouns are something that will enable you to avoid the repetition in your writing. So there are numerous ways to avoid repetition. For example, we have a sentence in which something is there which is already mentioned in first part of the sentence, that is our lives. But if we go again, if we have to refer back to this concept once again, we shouldn't say our lives. We should have something else to mean that, and it said our daily routines. Most importantly, contextually, it should be rightly placed, only then it will be a right synonym. On the other hand, it should certainly be replaced. If you do that, you will be able to impress your examiner to give you good scores. All right, technical vocabulary. Yes, you know that there are specific fields that are covered in IELTS essays. For example, education, technology, governments, rules and regulations, right? Environment. And if you are able to use the words that are associated with those fields, you can impress the examiner, because in that way your examiner will understand that yes, if you have to talk about a certain field, you have that vocabulary in you, and obviously you are making an impression that yes, I am academically sound, right? Okay, this is an example. This sentence is actually about uh, global climatic patterns, or you can say this is about environment itself. So if you are talking about environment, what kind of words you should use, which are directly connected to the issues of environment? I have highlighted a phrase here, climatic patterns. Obviously, this is related to environment. I have used a word mitigation, because mitigation is something that is used in the context of environment itself. Mitigating some problems that can curb the environmental problems or pollution problems, right? So in that way, whenever you are writing an essay, whenever you are addressing a specific field in an essay, I advise you to use that vocabulary that is directly associated with that field. Okay, lexical cohesion. What lexical cohesion stands for? Cohesion, I have already discussed in another video. Cohesion is the tie of the concepts within a conversation, the connection of concepts within a conversation. Moreover, it is also referring to those connectors which are linking different ideas, right? connectors specifically are a part of cohesion. So even there, you should be very sound. You should know the actual use of different connectors. You should know that if I am using additionally, what it means. If I am using however, what it means, right? So let me show you an example. There is a sentence, it says, furthermore, technological advancements have not only revolutionized healthcare practices but have also fundamentally transformed the dissemination and accessibility of information. Now you have some highlighted words. Furthermore is a connector that is associating that yes, we are adding something. Previously, something must have been said about the technological advancements, but this statement is an addition to that. So, furthermore, is that particular cohesive tie which is connecting the previous thought with this thought. Even within the sentence, they have used not only but also. These are also some cohesive ties which are connecting different thoughts in a certain manner to convey a specific meaning. So, these are something which are necessary to be covered in your IELTS writing. Please don't cram some fancy vocabulary which you cannot control in your writing. If you do that, I have so many examples with me that students did that, but they could not get the required score. They had very high vocabulary, high in the sense they crammed so many fancy words, but ultimately they were unable to control their conversation by using those words. And eventually they got less marks, which were not appropriate for their requirement. So this is all about lexical resource. Thank you so much.